Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Osereme, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to go about the making of one of these beautiful Bubu kaftans that you make combining different fabrics of your choice. Now when you're picking fabrics, you want to make sure that the fabrics you're selecting for this particular tutorial will go well together. If you have 1 yard of each fabric, you are good to go. So let us get started with the video. Alright guys, like I said at the beginning of this video, if you have 1 yard of about 3 to 4 different fabrics, you can make this Bubu kaftan with any design of your choice. Now you don't need to only join 3 different fabrics together. You can join 4, 5 depending on the design you're going for. Now for this particular tutorial, I joined only 3 different fabrics and I had 1 yard of each of them. Now if you would like to buy 100% cotton fabrics, just like the ones I'm using here, you can go over to Shopstar by Reme on Instagram. I have beautiful fabrics on there. Recently started selling them and they are very affordable. And if you would like for us to ship to you if you're outside Nigeria, yes, we can do that. So we deliver both within and outside Nigeria. Now back to the tutorial. For this dress that I'm about to make, I decided that I wanted to use this particular fabric as the upper part. So what I did was to fold the fabric into two first, border to border, just like I've done here. And after folding it into two, I went ahead to fold it again to make it a fold into four. So can you see how I folded it border to border first and then fold it again into four? Now for you to determine how you want to separate these particular pieces and join them together, the full length I want this dress to be was 56 inches. Now 56 divided by 3, because I'm using 3 different fabrics, was around 18 and almost like 18.5 inches. But I decided to cut each piece out with 19 inches. Now you don't necessarily need to cut them out the same size. Some can be longer than the other if you want. You can have some shorter, you can have some longer, depending on what you want. But for this tutorial, I decided to just make everything the same length. Now for this first part where we are going to be drawing out the neckline, I went ahead to draw out a starting line. And on this starting line, I went in by 3 inches for my neck width. Okay, and after this I'm going to come down by 7 inches for my neck depth. Now for the front of this particular bubu, I wanted it to be a V neckline. Now you're not restricted to only V necklines. You can do whatever you like with your neckline as well, but for me I decided to do a V neckline in front, and then at the back we just have a simple round neckline. Now for the shoulder area, I just decided to just use the whole fabric that I have left. So I just marked a space here at the end and then came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I would advise that you use everything that you have left, because this fabric, the way we folded it, we don't really have enough to work with on the shoulders, so that the sleeve is not too short. Now the next thing I'm going to do is, from this shoulder slope, I measured 9 inches for the width of my sleeve, and I just made a mark here. So I'm just going to connect a line from here to the new mark. So once you're through with this, the next thing I want you to do is I want to just go in a bit to give me the body shape. At first I didn't want to measure this, but I decided to take my body measurement just to make sure that the bubu is not too big. So from the center, I came in by my bust measurement divided by 4 here, which I marked. And then you can see I had 6 extra allowances after my bust measurement. So I decided to reduce it to 4.5 inches so that it's not too big. I didn't want it to be so big. But you can do whatever you want depending on your size. If you are bigger, you will definitely need to add more than 4.5 inches so that the bubu will fit better. So now I use the inch I marked to now create the curve to give me my armhole and then the body shape. Once that is done, for the back neckline, I came down by 1 inch and then connected it to the front neckline that I drafted earlier. I'm going to show you guys how to cut those out separately. Now from the shoulder, I'm going to come down by the length I want the first part to be, and I told you guys I was going to be making this 19 inches, so which is what I marked here, and I'm going to go ahead and mark it out. So now we are done drafting out the upper part. I'm going to go ahead and just cut it out. So I'll cut the back neckline first, okay, and then cut out the armhole and then the rest of the body. So this is what I have. We are going to go ahead now and add the other layer. Now for the second layer, I folded my fabric into 4 as well, just like I did on the upper pattern. And now I'm just drawing out a starting line as well on this place. All right. So from this starting line, I'm going to measure the same 19.5, just like I did on the upper part right here, 19 inches, 19.5. I think I was actually measuring out 19.5, not 19. So I use this to draw out a line as well, as you can see. So now this is going to be added to the upper part. So I'm just going to cut through the lines that I marked, and then I'm going to align this piece with the upper part and then cut out the side. So you can see how I'm aligning the piece. I'm just pinning it up together, and then I'll now just cut the upper part all the way down to give me the same side. Now we are going to add the last part. Now for the last part, I have my fabric folded into 4 as well. I've drawn out a starting line as well, and I'm going to measure the same length. But for this last part, I decided to mark 20 inches instead, because I'm going to be folding the bottom and I need more allowances to fold the bottom of the dress so that I'll have a wider fold. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and just cut this out just like I did on the middle piece, both on the areas that I've marked, and then I'll go ahead and cut out the sides. So guys, these are all the pieces now cut out together. All 3 pieces have been cut out. So I'm going to go ahead now and start joining them together. But first, I want to cut out the front neckline alone. So I removed the back piece, I pushed it aside, and then cut the front V neckline. Okay, so that's how you should do it. Else, your front and back are going to be V. So you can see if I open them now, I have round neckline at the back and then a V neckline in front. So now I'm going to go ahead and join these pieces together. So I will place them right sides facing each other. And I'm just going to go ahead and stitch these areas and pinning down. And then after joining this blue, I'm going to join the green piece to make it a long piece. Guys, I'm done joining the 3 pieces together, as you can see. So this is the back piece. I went ahead to just pipe the neckline with a bias, as you can see. And now for the front piece, I joined all the pieces together as well. And now for the neckline of the front, I decided to create my own design. Now you can do whatever you like with the neckline in front. I've seen so many different designs for this particular outfits. Now I don't even need to use one of the fabrics that I'm using. I could have used any other fabric for the neckline, but I decided to just use the green because I wanted it to not just be alone at the bottom. So now I have my fabric here. I had to join it to be able to get it wide enough to go around my neckline. I folded it into 2, and I folded the V neckline now into 2 equal halves as well, and I've pinned it down. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this exactly into this piece, this green piece that I've cut out, and then just cut the shoulder area like this so that it's exactly the same thing. So I'm just going to iron it in place so that it doesn't move away. And then I turned it over to the other side so that I'll be able to see this design piece I want to place in front. So from where my V neckline stopped, I decided to come down by 9 inches. And then from that 9 inch point, I just decided to create a curve for my neckline. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a U curve. You can do a V. You can just do whatever the hell you want to do here. Honestly, when it comes to this particular Bubu, the thing I love about it is that you can do anything. You can do basically anything. So for me, I decided to do a U shape. So by the time you open it up, you can see my V neckline on the fabric and then the V neckline on the design piece. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. So like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a curve like I did here. You can do a V shape or whatever shape you like. So now to stitch this, you're going to turn the wrong side of your fabric, and then you're going to turn the right side of your design piece to face it. So that way, the wrong side of the fabric and the wrong side of the design piece will both be facing you. Make sure that the wrong sides of both pieces are facing you at this particular point. So go ahead and pin around the neckline and then go ahead and stitch it down. Then we'll come and turn it over to the right side. I'm done stitching it down now, as you can see, and I'm just going to go ahead and make notches around the neckline because this is a V, especially at this V point, so that it looks very much like a V when I turn it over to the other side. So I'm done making my notches now, and I'm just going to turn it over to the right side and iron it out. So guys, once you're done ironing it out, you're going to turn it over like this to face you. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is to start folding the edges in, and I'm going to use my pin to hold it in place first. So I'm just going to fold the edges in like this all the way around, and I'm going to hold it down with my pins and then go over to the sewing machine to top stitch all the areas I'm pinning down right now. Alright guys, I'm done pinning it down as you can see. So I'm going to just make a top stitch around these areas like this. So guys, I'm done making my top stitch, and this is what we have. Everything looks really nice and neat. This is why you must iron when you're sewing, okay? So now I already piped the back neckline, remember? So what I'm going to do now is to join the front and the back pieces together on the shoulders, and I'm just going ahead to just pin them down, and I'm just going to stitch make a straight stitch on the areas that I'm pinning down right now. I'm done joining the shoulders now, and this is what I had. I also went ahead to just fold the sleeve areas. So now what is left is for us to go ahead and attach our pockets. So from the shoulder area, I came down by 17 inches as the place where my pockets are going to start from. Now I've already cut out my pocket pieces, and I'm just going to be stitching them directly on these areas, and they will be starting from this 17 inches point I made. Now from here down to like 7 inches here, this is how wide the opening for my pocket is going to be. I had 2 pieces of my pocket for each side, so I'll pick one side of my fabric, and I'm just going to go ahead and pin it down. I started pinning from the mark I made at the top. Can you see? So I'm just going to pin it down to one side of my fabric. Let's assume this is the front for now. Go ahead and pin down your pocket piece. Once you're done pinning it down for one side, you are going to do the exact same thing for the other side. Now this is just for one part of the pocket, okay? So this is one, and then I'll do the exact same thing on this other side as well. So right sides facing each other, make sure it's starting at the same point. Go ahead and pin it down just like you see me doing like this. I think I've shared the video on this channel already severally on how to go about cutting out this pocket, but if you would like to see it separately, I will definitely be willing to share it separately. So now this is it, okay? I'm done pinning it down. The areas I pinned down now, I'm going to stitch them down first, and after stitching down those areas, I will now go ahead and stitch the sides of my dress all the way down from the armhole, making sure that I'm leaving only the areas that I marked as open. So from here, I'll stitch down as well. The only area I'll be leaving open is that 7 inches for the pocket space. Now for the side of this dress, I decided I wanted to give it about 10 inch of slit on both sides. So I'm going to be leaving a slit on this side and on the other side as well. So that's basically it. I'm going to go ahead and join all of these together. Now after joining everything together, this is what it looks like, okay? So this is the opening I had from the pocket after stitching down everything on the inside. This is the neckline, looking really nice. The other pocket as well here, it's very beautiful, staying perfectly in place. And for the slit areas that I said I was going to leave, you can see what I did here. Just went ahead to fold it just like I folded the bottom part. Now just to make sure to show you guys what the pocket area looks like, so this is what it looks like. You can see I made the stitches here and then came through like this, then came down. So from here to here is left open, and then the other side is stitched. Just that mark where you made that mark, that 7 inches marked, must not be stitched. So every other part will be stitched down. I did the same thing on both sides, and that was basically it. I went ahead to finish up the bottom part, like the ends of the bubu, and then stitch down the slit areas, and this is how the pocket is looking. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next one.